Welcome to another edition of Talking Politics with Dotun Oladipo. I am your regular host, Dotun Oladipo, the managing editor of The Eagle Online, which operates at www.theeagleonline.com.ng. First, a major announcement. Talking Politics with Dotun Oladipo will from this edition be collaborating with another YouTube channel, Newspop NG, for wider reach. In this wise, please do subscribe not just to Talking Politics with Dotun Oladipo, but also to Newspop NG. We will also appreciate your liking and sharing the videos on both YouTube channels. In this edition of Talking Politics with Dotun Oladipo, we shall be looking at the outcome of the June 16, 2022 governorship election in Osun State, where the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, and its candidate, who is also the incumbent, Oyetola, lost to Senator Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party. What were the factors that accounted for the loss of Oyetola? What aided the support for Adeleke, who, 4 years ago, lost to the incumbent in a tight race? This time around, the difference in votes was 28,344. While Oyetola scored 375,027 votes, Adeleke garnered 403,371 votes. In 2018, while Oyetola, after a rerun, scored 255,505 votes, Adeleke polled 255,023 votes, a difference of 482 votes. The results, announced by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin, who was the returning officer of the Independent National Electoral Commission for the election, showed that Adeleke won in 17 local government areas, while Oyetola did in 13. Adeleke won in Bolorunduro, Ife North, Olorunda, Orolu, Obokun, Oduotin, Ilesha West, Ifelodun, and Atukubosa West local government areas. Other areas where he won were in Ila, Oshogbo, Irepodun, Oriade, Ejigbo, Ede South, Ede North, and Egbedore local government areas. For Oyetola, he won in Ilesha East, Ife Central, Ifedayo, Boripe, Ayedire, Ayedade, Olaoluwa, Irewole, Ishokan, Iwo, Atakumosa East, Ife South, and Ife East local government areas. In looking at what transpired during the election, one of the major factors was the conduct of the Adelekes. That is, the family of the candidates of the PDP. They had entrenched interests. According to sources within the state, one of the factors that persuaded people to support Adeleke was that he had listening ears. His style of campaign also was quite unique. Talking Politics with Dotun Oladipo was told. This was because that structure relied less on the party's structure. They had parallel structures at the local government level. By the time the party structure came into being, some months before the election, the parallel structure had reached virtually everybody. It went beyond the party line, worked on all interests in the state, and built very strong grassroots platform for the mobilization of voters for Adeleke. We were told that there was tireless effort at local government mobilization. The structure put in place went beyond the local government headquarters. It visited all the remote villages. All the monarchs in the states were visited, so also were all religious leaders. Then also, in addition, was the image of the revered Dr. Adeleke, who many in Nigeria refer to as Baba Olowo. Adeleke, that is the senior Adeleke now, He's a businessman who has very strong link with what has been termed as the Aliko Dangote network in Nigeria. That network is made up of super rich businessmen. And according to our sources, it aided the campaign of Senator Adeleke. We learned that that gave him a leverage at the federal level. Apart from the economic power that was put behind Senator Adeleke, that federal power also helped in ensuring that even if security agencies were not going to favor the candidate and the PDP, it at least ensured that there was neutrality. That was why we were told it was easy to ensure that some of those who wanted to go beyond their mandates during the election, including the National Secretary of the APC, were put in check at every point, with the military, operatives of the Department of State Services, and the police doing their jobs effectively. This led to the arrest of a thug who was said to have left Lagos to support one of the parties during the polls, who was arrested with charms and other things.
Alagbele dan se yarin gbe lọ́wọ́ gbele o. Be ìwọ sa gbe forun be yen ni. Àwọn ko ti ko gba ni wa record. O wa record gbọ́ mi na. Izike kini. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ya iṣẹ́ yín ọlọ́pàá tó record. Izike kini. Láti bolo ti wá. Ọmọ le sha ni mi na. Iba no bí mi sí. But Èkó ló ti wá báyìí àbúrò. Èkó mi gbé na. Ó ní ko ni wá ṣe nílé. Okay, wọ́n wá okay, wá ṣe nílé okay. Mo wá ṣiṣẹ́ kankan ní. Okay. Èmi ti wáyé láti bí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì. Election ko. Mo wá bá òbí mi ni. Láti bí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì. Yìí sì eléyìí Èkó lè mi gbé ẹ̀kọ́ tó ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò dá sáà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní mi ṣe. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní mi ṣe. Gbogbo ilé ìsájú rẹ̀ jù.
There was also the influence of Dr. Adeleke's son, that is David Adeleke, the Nigerian pop star popularly known as Davido. He was reported to have contributed a lot to the victory, despite the fact that he was not involved in the day-to-day strategy and planning for the election. His courage and his influence on the social media were said to have affected the outcome of the poll by attracting many who never in the first instance believed in the PDP to the party. And this resulted in a lot of artists who backed the campaign of the PDP and that of his uncle, Senator Adeleke. And then we come to the personality of the outgoing governor, who has also said that his party will take a position on the outcome of that election. Oyetola is regarded as a problem to the APC when it comes to mobilizing the electorate. This was simply because he had a lot of he has generated a lot of bad feelings among the electorate. He has not been responsive to the feelings of the people, and is seen as being unconcerned and dissociated from the people he was elected to serve. One group of people will not forget him in a hurry, are pensioners who have been complaining stridently. Workers are also said to be dissatisfied with his government. In some instances, they have complained that there have been promotions in the state not backed with more than 300 naira increments in salary. This, in a lot of instances, damages his reputation. On the political front, the primaries for the 2023 elections also caused Oyetola a lot of damage. In the legislative primaries involving the State House of Assembly, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, many were dissatisfied and decided to work against him. Sources said, and it has been reported in several fora, that primaries virtually did not hold in Osun State. Rather, what happened was a compilation of the names of those who were going to represent the state. For instance, for Osun West Senatorial District, one of the most revered senators in Nigeria, Senator Adeleke, was removed. Some have described him as the best for his senatorial district, but his name was removed. So also were many reps and state assembly aspirants. And this group, we were told, constituted an anti-party club that joined forces with a former governor of the state and the immediate predecessor of Oyetola, Rauf Aregbesola, who is the Minister for Internal Affairs. Aregbesola wasn't alone also. He also had Alhaji Moshood Adeoti, who has a very strong political network in Osun State. In his senatorial district, Osun West, he is very well grounded and had the capacity to mobilize, even at short notice. There is also a former commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs under the administration of Rauf Aregbesola, Alhaji Kolapo Alimi, who also moved against the incumbents and eventually joined the campaign organization of Senator Adimola Adeleke. He was made the Deputy Director General of that campaign.
Mo dẹ̀ ń sọ kí gbogbo wọn gbọ́ lónìí wípé tó bá jẹ́ pé aṣàbòsí Oyetola ó ní òun ni wà. Pé tó bá jẹ́ pé aṣàbòsí sí tí a bá ṣe àbòsí sí Oyetola tó bá dá ọpẹ́ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ yóò pòfo lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Bí mi ò bá mọ ti ẹlòmíì, mo mọ ti ọ̀gá mi Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá. Tí mi ò bá mọ tẹlòmíì, èmi kọ́lọ́pàá ní mi tí mo dúró yìí mo mọ tèmi. Ìgbà táwa bí ń ṣiṣẹ́ Oyetola, àbá lọ́nú méjì o. Ọkọ̀ làwa ń wọ̀ lọ sábùjá. A gbé ẹ̀mí wa yọ́nà ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o.
À ń wọ ọkọ̀, ń gun bàálù.
Ó di oṣù mẹ́fà.
À ń lọ, à ń bọ̀. À ń lọ, à ń bọ̀. Pẹ̀lú ọkọ̀, ìrìn wákàtí mẹ́jọ. Kì í sọkọ̀ ìjọba la gbé lọ ọkọ̀ ara wa àti lọ́yà. Àtẹlẹ́rìí tá a bá ń lọ a mú mẹkáníìkì lọ́wọ́ a gba brake pa a ṣe gbogbo nǹkan a lọ a dọ̀tà abádàbùdá báyìí ara wọn mọ̀ gbóná ni bílẹ̀ bá tún ti mọ́ a tún gbọ́dọ̀ dé kóòtù. Àwa ṣe iṣẹ́ yẹn báyẹn àwa ṣe tán ẹnìkan wá ní òun pé àfibisó lóore ó wá rò pé òun lè mú jẹ kó lè mú jẹ o. Ọlọ́run ọba kò kì í sí lẹ́yìn alábòsí wọ́n ní wọ́n ń fi ikú wá wa káàkiri Ọlọ́run ọba ò ní fẹ̀mí wa lé yín lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n tẹ́ ẹ bá rí apá àtìrẹ́bìrẹ́ yín wọn ò ní dàgbà mọ́ láyé. Ọlọ́run ọba ò ní fi ẹ̀mí wa lé yín lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n tẹ́ ẹ bá rí apá kẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ pé ègún ti wà lórí rẹ̀ yín. Eléyìí tá à ń sọ ìyá àní bomi ẹnu wí kí ló dé. Ìgbà tí ojú ń gbégún wọn ní àwọn oníbàárà. Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá dúró tì ọ́ bó ṣe yẹ kó dúró tì ọ́. Kọ́lápọ̀ Alimi ló kọ̀ mí mo dúró tì ọ́ bó ṣe kí n dúró tì ọ́ ọwọ́ adé ọwọ́ adójú ìjà kan wá ọwọ́ lọ fẹsẹ̀ kẹsì Ọlọ́run ní fún ọ ṣe. Òkú ọgbẹ́ tó o bá dá lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ yìí òkú ni ó dá sí. Mo tún bẹ́ẹ̀ tún sọ o mo bẹ́ẹ̀ tún sọ kí wọ́n gbọ́ gbogbo ọgbẹ́ tí Alhaji Saka Oyetola gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tó bá dá lórí ọ̀rọ̀ kó fẹ́ ṣe ẹ̀kejì lórí wípé ń fi ayé asásí ìwọ wa káàkiri lórí wípé ó fi aburú wọ wa káàkiri tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé tọkẹtara tó bá jẹ́ pé tọkẹtara la fi ṣiṣẹ́ fún ọkọ̀ tó di gómìnà yìí gbogbo ọgbẹ́ tó bá dá òfò ló máa já sí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ Kọ́lápọ̀ Alimi ò bẹ̀rù kú o èmi ò bẹ̀rù o wọ́n lè fẹ́ pa ní èmi ò bẹ̀rù wọ́n tẹ́ bá rí nípa àtìrẹ́ dínà ní òní dàgbà mọ́ láyé. Ẹ lọ gbọ́ lẹ́yìn àtọ̀sí àtòrúlẹ̀ tó wa àtẹ̀yìn láburú orin la tẹ̀yìn adúró tì yín àtàbò yín tọkẹtara ìgbà tí gbogbo àwọn tá ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ sìn àwọn tá dúró tì yín sìn nígbà tí wọ́n kọ̀yìn sí yín àwọn dúró tì yín ẹ má dojú ìjà kọ wa ọlọ́wọ́ dojú ìjà kọ. Gbogbo ọgbọ́n tó yẹ kára bá dá òfin ló máa dá sí. Máa pe
And to top it off for the Aregbelola group, the former governor knew that failing in this instance in unseating Oyetola will definitely mean his end politically in Osun State. In Lagos State, where he started his politics, he has already lost out. So his only hope rests squarely in Osun State. Some have also said the performance of Oyetola's government was very poor. And then one example was used to back this up. The failure of the government in 4 years to attend to a major road in the state, that is the Ibadan-Osogbo road. That road links 7 local government areas of the state. And the people of the area took him to task on his failure to rehabilitate that road or attract the federal government to work on it. So when he went back to campaign for re-election, it was one of the issues that was brought up. And as we were told, this reflected in the outcome of the poll in the 7 local government areas. For instance, in Iwo, where the APC used to be perhaps the only political party, the APC scored 17,421 votes to PDP 16,914, quite close. Inede, also another APC stronghold, the PDP floored the party mercilessly, scoring 19,438 votes to just 5,704 by the APC. Egbedore, Olaoluwa, Ayedire, part of Ejigbo, and Oloruda local governments also either delivered to the PDP or the race was really quite close. And the rest for that area, as we all know, is history, because in most of the areas, Adeleke had the upper hand. And then also to re-emphasize that the government machineries involved in the election did play their part in a noble manner. The Independent National Electoral Commission conducted itself quite well. Most of the polling units had electoral officers as early as 8 a.m. with elections starting in many long before 9 a.m. So also did the security agencies, the military, the DSS, the police, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps performed excellently well by being neutral. So largely, it was the Grand Coalition against Oyetola that ran him out of office. A few days before the election itself, during the final campaign of the APC, many were also said to have been dissatisfied with the position of Oyetola, where he bragged that he was not going to relinquish the position, that he was going to do 8 years. And many saw it as a way of punishing him by voting against the APC. Because even in one of their major strongholds, which is Ila local government area, where a former chairman of the party, the interim national chairman, Chief Bisi Akande, hails from, the party lost. And in so many other areas, including a larger part of Ijesha land, which has been APC or part of the Progressive Party since the return to democracy in 1999. But Governor Oyetola believes that he's leaving Osun State better than he met it. He has always had the opportunity to state and recount his achievements in the almost 4 years he has spent in office. His spokespersons, whether for government or for his own personal spokesman, have a list, and a very long one at that, of his achievements. Unfortunately, the electorate do not seem to have been enamored by this. Whatever steps Oyetola decides to take, we'll wait to see. As he has said, the party will decide on its future in terms of the outcome of the election. This is all that we have on this edition. Don't forget, you have the opportunity to contribute to the program via a 2-minute video or an email sent to us, not more than 500 words, and in civil language. The email address to send both to will be info@theeagleonline.com.ng. I take that again, info@theeagleonline.com.ng. Until we come your way again, do have a pleasant time.